Blackpink is a South Korean girl group made up of 4 girls. We have Jisoo, Jennie, Lisa and Rosé. They debuted on August the 8th, 2016 and was formed by the YG Entertainment Group, which is a multimedia Korean entertainment group. They do things like modelling and, most famously, music. They rose to fame when they gave us Psy's Gangnam Style, which was the first ever video on YouTube to reach 1 billion views. It currently has 4.7 billion views, which is just something I cannot even fathom. I couldn't even understand or conceive that amount of views. Since then, K-pop has really taken over the Western world, and when it comes to female K-pop, Blackpink absolutely dominate. They've got multiple songs over 1 billion views on YouTube, but where were they before fame? Well, that's what we're going to go into, but before that, I must mention life as being a trainee, because there's one thing that all these girls have in common, which is they went through a process of being a trainee. This is something that the YG Entertainment Group do, where it's basically you becoming an apprentice for the music. It's their way of like factory producing amazing talent. So they take on all these people who, let's call them just apprentices for now. If it's in the case of music, they'll put them through all these tests of dance lessons and singing lessons to try and figure out, it's like the school of K-pop, to try and figure out who's the brightest in the room, who's the best, who's got the most star quality. They'll usually then take these people and put them in other people's music videos or throughout other campaigns just to see what the public think of them, or before they actually sign them on to do something amazing. Now, they get a lot of bad press for this training thing because it is, from what I've seen and from what I've heard, it's a hard thing to go through. It's very difficult. You don't get much money for it whatsoever. They basically control what you eat, what you do. You've got to work out all the time. You've got to look a certain way. It's everything that the media in the Western world kind of tells us we shouldn't be standing for, like beauty standards and being overworked. And they pretty much do that, you know, especially with the women. I mean, some of these girls will train for about 10 years. So they'll get scouted when they're like 13 years old, go through like 10 years of training, and then when they're like 23, they'll get told, you know what, you're not going to make it. You're not going to make it to the end of this. We're not going to do anything with you. So you're finished with. And then it's like a waste of both time and money. You can't go on and get a job with that kind of education of being a trainee in the YG Entertainment Group. And the reason I say it's so much harder for women is because you've got this like overly sexualized nature. I mean, you're watching like Blackpink music video and you'll see what I mean. They put them in certain clothes. They make them dance a certain way. That's not necessarily the girls wanting to do that or the girls picking that thing. That is the group. That is their management who's making them do that. There's a lot of bullying that goes on here. There's the dieting. So people don't really like it a lot. It gets looked down on. But everyone who goes through the YG Entertainment Group goes through that, including all 4 of the girls we're going to talk about today. So when I mention the points of being a trainee, you now know what it is that they're going through and what it is they're trying to achieve. That's basically their nod. They're in the entertainment group, but they're not a star yet. They're going through training. Okay, we're on the same page. Great. With that, we're going to start with Jennie.
Hi Vogue, this is Jennie. I'm in New York for the Met Gala. Come get ready with me.
Bitch, 나는 solo.
Jennie Kim was born January the 16th, 1996, and is Blackpink's singer and rapper. Growing up, she was an only child. When she was 8 years old, she went on a trip with her family to Australia and New Zealand. When her mother asked her if she liked New Zealand and wanted to stay, Jennie replied yes. Then 1 year later, she was sent to study at a school in Auckland, New Zealand, and lived with a homestay family. During her adolescent years, she dreamed of being a ballet dancer. Jennie first heard of K-pop while she was in New Zealand, particularly finding an interest in YG Entertainment's music. Her mother actually planned to move her to Florida in the US at the age of 14 to continue her studies to become like a lawyer or a teacher or something like that, something respectable and admirable. However, Jennie didn't really like the idea of that. She was concerned about not finding work that she liked. She was concerned about living alone. Her family ended up supporting her decision. Yay, very good on her family. And she moved back to South Korea in 2010. Jennie then auditioned for the YG Entertainment Group that same year. And she auditioned with Rihanna's song, Take a Bow. The label loved it and she succeeded in joining. She was signed to the label as a trainee, which is crazy because through High Cut Korea, she revealed because she was so afraid of strangers and reluctant to take initiative, she could barely introduce herself during the audition. So they really must have seen something in her. They really must have liked something for her to succeed through that. Initially, she was a vocalist, right? But the company believed she could embrace the role of a rapper, as most songs that she covered included raps, and she was the only trainee who was fluent in English at that time. Along with knowing English and Korean, she also knows basic Japanese and French. Crazy. What a talented young lady she is. She was a trainee for about 4 years. 4 years, and then she was released as the band's first member. So she was like the start of Blackpink, which is a fantastic way to start this video, really. We starting with the start. Moving on, let's talk about Rosé's rise to fame.
I'm Rosé and I'm here in Paris for the Saint Laurent show, and you guys are gonna get ready with me.
Just drove by your house, so far from you now.
Rosé, born 11th of February 1997, born Rosenny Park. She was born, funnily enough, in Auckland, New Zealand, which you may remember is where Jennie moved to and lived. But you know, New Zealand, big place, probably didn't bump into each other much, I don't think. So she was born in New Zealand to South Korean immigrant parents, so she's actually a Kiwi. She's actually a New Zealander. At the age of 7, Rosé and her family moved to Melbourne, Australia. She began singing and learned to play guitar and piano as a child, as well as performing in church choirs. She attended Kew East Primary School and Canterbury Girls Secondary School, but dropped out before year 11 after signing with South Korean record label YG Entertainment. In 2012, Rosé attended the audition in Sydney, Australia. She finished first among 700 participants. 700 girls went to audition to become a trainee. Only one was picked. That one person was our very own Rosé. 2 months later, she officially signed with the label as a trainee and moved to South Korea. The same year, Rosé was given an opportunity to feature on label-mate G-Dragon's song Without You from his extended play EP. Her name was not publicised at the time of the release. Her credit revealed only following her announcement as a member of Blackpink. Rosé had trained with YG Entertainment for about 4 years as well before she was revealed as the final member of the girl group Blackpink. What a humble story. Actually, I mean, she is Korean, but you could well call her a New Zealander. She was born in New Zealand. She is from New Zealand. So we got a bit of diversity there in the group already. 2 members in, bit of diversity. But let's move on to our third member, shall we? Let's move on to Jisoo.
Hi, I'm Jisoo from Blackpink.
See you standing over there with your body, feeling like I wanna rock with your body.
Was born January the 3rd, 1995. Real name Kim Jisoo. As a child, she played basketball and practiced taekwondo. So she was quite the athletic lady, the athletic young lady. She was a sports person. She enjoyed the sportsy side of life. She dreamed of becoming a painter and writer, so she's also creative. She got that creativity going. Jisoo attended high school at the School of Performing Arts in Seoul. In 11th grade, she joined a drama club at the school and earned more experience in the entertainment industry by attending auditions. In 2011, she officially joined YG Entertainment as a trainee. In October 2014, 3 years later, she appeared in Epic High's music video for Spoiler Happy Ending as the Heartbroken Girl. The same year, she starred in High Surren's music video for I'm Different as Bobby's girlfriend. In 2015, she made a cameo appearance in KBS2's drama The Producers. Then in 2016, she was chosen to be in the soon-to-be-formed K-pop group Blackpink. She spent about 5 years as a trainee, and they tested her a lot throughout these little features and cameos, just to kind of make sure she was the right person. But 5 years, she was one of the longest trainees, but she made it in the end. She made it in the end as the third member of Blackpink. However, there are not 3 members of Blackpink, are there? No, there are 4 members. So we need to talk about the 4th and final member of Blackpink, which is Lisa.
Hi guys, I'm Lisa from Blackpink.
이런 거를 많이 못 봤으니까 그냥 크리스마스 선물.
Lisa, born March 27th, 1997 in Thailand. Real name is Prampriya Manabul, but she later legally changed her name to La Lisa, meaning the one being praised, at the advice of a fortune teller. As an only child, she was raised by her Thai mother and her Swiss stepfather. After enrolling in dance classes at the age of 4, she began competing regularly in contests and joined the 11-member dance crew We Are Cool, alongside Bam Bam of GOT7. That was back in September 2009, so she was very much a dancer. She was a mover, another sportsy girl, I guess. In 2010, at the age of 13, Lisa auditioned to join YG Entertainment in Thailand. Amongst 4,000 applicants, she was the only one to succeed. 4,000 people. For YG Entertainment, they're going to Thailand, looking for some new talent. 4,000 people audition. Only one of them succeeded this time. Only one qualified. That one person, well, it's none other than Lisa. In 2011, she moved to South Korea to begin her formal training as a trainee. So you got to train to be a trainee. Crazy. And then she officially joined the label as its first ever non-ethnically Korean trainee. And that is the story of Blackpink before they were famous. Because as soon as those girls got together, as soon as Blackpink began, they were basically a hit out the gate. Everything they released, the first song they released, a hit. Everything has been a hit. They were famous from the moment they was announced as being a K-pop girl group. As soon as Blackpink was announced, they were a hit. That being said, there is a lot more to this story of these girls which I would like to discuss. Nothing that really goes with this video. This video specifically is about before they were famous, right? But there's so much more about the life of them being a trainee, which I'd like to get touched on a little bit at the beginning of this video. I'd like to do more about, and as well as when they was actually in Blackpink. Because so far in the story, we've got up to the start of it. There's so much more to the story, well, throughout the last 4, 5, 7 years, which I would love to talk about, but just doesn't make sense in this video. What I'm basically trying to say is I want to do more Blackpink videos. So if you want to see those videos, don't forget to subscribe. I hate saying it, but I did watch a video yesterday which said if you ask people to subscribe to you, they're more likely to subscribe to you. I don't know, so I'm trying it out. Subscribe to me. More Blackpink videos are on the way. Keep an eye out for them. Until the next video, goodbye.